Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you all had a great holiday off and got to spend much needed quality time with your family and friends. I've been very anxious to get another one of these episodes out, but it's been a real struggle these last couple of weeks because my husband and I actually won a contract from our other business, and so we've been busy juggling all of that while also trying to get the kids back on a regular school routine. You don't have to homeschool to know that it's a bit of a chore getting back into your old routine again. But nevertheless, I am back, feeling blessed and ready for whatever 2026 has in store for me. Today's episode is going to be a long one, and for your sanity, I will be breaking it up into more digestible chunks for you to watch at your leisure. This topic that I'll be covering, I care very deeply about. It's something that I feel we as a society need to get a proper understanding of what the reality behind it is, and how with the right education and with the proper preparation, we can hopefully avoid it in our own lives. That topic is divorce. We're going to be doing a deep dive into divorce, and I'm telling you, I thought my days of researching for college papers were over, but this one really took hold of me. So I'm going to do my best to try to paint a realistic picture of what divorce looks like today, and share some of the fun facts that I learned about divorce that prior to filming this episode I had no clue about. I'm also going to be putting on my life coaching hat and cover some of the ways in which you can divorce-proof your marriage, and I'll even throw in my pickleball analogy for free. Hear me out on this, it's good. So if you're married, buckle up. You're going to want to watch this one all the way through. Welcome back to the Grateful Wife Podcast. So as crazy as it sounds, until yesterday, when I was researching the topic of divorce, I found out that apparently January is divorce month. Isn't that interesting? So as I stated earlier, I have very strong feelings about divorce. It's something that I think is happening way too often in our society today, and every time I hear someone I know who is going through it, I just feel so sad for that person. I feel sad because my mind immediately goes back to when these people first got married and how their lives were filled with so much love for each other and had so much optimism for the future. And for me, it's just sad to see a couple that was once in that state decide to just permanently dissolve their union. It is very socially acceptable now, to the point where it's even celebrated. I mean, there's a whole card aisle now in stores just for congratulating people on their divorce. It's just wild. But again, this is weird to me. Majority of these cases we should not be celebrating, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. I'm going to show you some examples. But before we get into that, let's dive into some of the non-surprising statistics surrounding divorce. The first being that women are the primary initiators of divorce almost 70% of the time. And this comes as no surprise to me, especially when I see hundreds of videos like this that are circulating online every day.
Tomorrow is officially one of the biggest and most important days of my entire life. Tomorrow is my divorce day, and it's been a lot, to say the least. This moment I have equally dreaded and looked forward to, and the fact that it is now coming to an end officially tomorrow is mind-blowing. I cannot wait. I'm so impressed and proud of myself that I have been able to get through this divorce alone. To be 25 years old and doing something of this caliber is huge. I am the youngest out of my friends to be married, and now I'm the youngest out of my friends to be divorced. So I'm going to hold that with a lot of pride.
I want to be independent. I don't need a man. I can do this all on my own.
Guess who's single again? It's okay. I've just come out of a marriage. So single. I feel good.
Do you want to become a miserable old woman? I don't think any of us do. You've seen those women out there. The women that are nattering and nagging their husbands, that are bitchy, that aren't nice, seem to be so unhappy, and we think, oh God, I hope I'm never one of those miserable old women. That happens from raising a family, working, and then all of a sudden we're in our 50s and 60s and we have nothing. We don't have a life. We don't have a life separate from our family or separate from our husband. And so we resent everybody. I did it. Here I am. It's amazing. I feel like a different person already. I feel like I can do whatever I want, and I'm not responsible for anybody anymore but me. I don't know. Things aren't going that great.
So remember these women. You will see them again very soon. Despite the hundreds, if not thousands of women out there like this online who are gleefully talking about their impending divorces, and not to mention all of those whom I know personally who have been divorced, I was actually shocked to find out that the divorce rate is actually going down. Contrary to what many of us have believed for years, that about 50% of marriages end in divorce, which was true back in the 80s when it peaked, according to the Institute of Family Studies, the actual divorce rate is down to 40%, which is a 50-year low, and researchers believe that it's going to continue to go down this trend. So, yay, right? Well, kind of. While I'm glad that the overall divorce rate is going down, I wanted to know what factors were causing it to go down in the first place, and I found some more unsurprising data. The first of which is fewer people are actually getting married, and those who are getting married are waiting much longer to tie the knot. According to the same researchers from the Institute of Family Statistics on Marriage, marriage rates reached an all-time low in 2021. But since 2022, marriages have rebounded to pre-pandemic levels, which has researchers optimistic that this trend will continue. So again, yay! So obviously there are a lot of factors that go into these trends. As I stated earlier, it's not so much fewer people that are getting married and more that people are just taking longer to get married. Age has become a major factor. The average age of a couple today getting married is around age 30 for men and age 28 for women. That's actually old when you compare it to the 1950s, when the average man was 22 years old when he got married and the average woman 20. So this is, of course, unsurprising. Our society and culture today promote waiting to get married for as long as possible. Wait until you get the college degree. Wait until you find a job. Wait until you buy a house. Wait until you're financially stable. All of these factors, while they make sense from a purely financial and secular point of view, I don't personally agree with. But whether I agree with them or not, these factors have, overall, contributed to stronger marriages in general that have, of course, resulted in a reduction of divorces. So that is great news. But in terms of these purely secular factors being stressed, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to beat that divorce rate down even further. And one of them is the rising trend of childless married couples, aka DINKs, which stands for dual income, no kids. So this statistic actually blew my mind. But for most people, this probably wouldn't surprise them. But it turns out that the divorce rate for childless couples is actually much higher than those who are married with children, as much as 66% higher compared to 40% for married couples with children. So you'd think that not having to deal with kids and getting to pretty much do whatever you want, whenever you want, would lead to marital happiness and bliss. Well, apparently there is a binding factor that children provide to solidify a relationship.
No way. That's great.
And when you look at this through the lens of marriage being more of a sacrament, a vocation, a covenant given by God, it makes total sense why having children in this union is not only a beautiful thing, but it's also a necessary thing to keep the couple together. So that might be tip number 1 to divorce-proof your marriage. Have kids. I was actually told by a dog person, who has 4 kids of his own, by the way, that dogs are the absolute best. They're your best friend. They're always there for you. There's nothing better than a dog, except kids. So if you're married and you're still discerning about having kids and you're happily married already, I'm telling you, adding kids to the mix is only going to make your marriage flourish even more. The reason, of course, is simple, and it's true. This is exactly what God intended marriage to be. And when you don't bring children into your marriage, you're actually robbing yourselves of a true and lasting joy and a deeper intimacy with your spouse. You can't possibly understand it until you've experienced it yourself. All the vacations in the world cannot top bringing a life that you created with your spouse out of love into the world. It just surpasses all understanding, which is what makes it a beautiful act of faith, hope, and love in your marriage. Thanks for watching this clip from the Grateful Wife podcast. If you'd like to see more, please like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can get all the latest content. Hope to see you back here, and until next time, stay grateful.